Shalom, good morning.
Boker Tov.
Boker Tov.
Shalom, good morning, Boker Tov.
Welcome back to the study. We're going to continue with the next part of Parashat Vayetchanan. And we are going to be reading in Devarim, that's Deuteronomy. We're going to start in chapter 4, verse 40 or 41. 41. We might go back a little bit to a couple of verses that we liked before. But that's when we're going to begin. Devarim, Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 41. And we're going to read through to chapter 5. So we have been reading, as we said, about the journey of Israel from the perspective of Moshe. And we read last time about how he reminds them again several times. He reminds them especially about not committing idolatry. And then he basically prophesies that they are going to fall into idolatry and that they're going to be expelled from the land. But he says that when you are out in the other nations of the world and you call on Yahweh, he's going to bring you back. And he's going to remember his covenant and his promise. So that's what we read last time. And it was very beautiful. So this, we're going to continue with the end of chapter 4 and chapter 5. And it's kind of reminding them about the commands. And then in the final part of this parasha, we have the Shema. So we'll get into that on Friday.
Amen.
Okay, so we can start with the blessing. We'll read, and then we can kind of recap what we read.
Baruch Yahweh Hambora.
Baruch Yahweh Hambora,
Lulam Baed. Baruch Atah Yahweh Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikohamim. Venatan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Yahweh noten Torah. Amen.
So I'm going to share my screen so you can see this. And this is website is called Q Bible with the transliteration. And I also sent the link in the email. Okay, so we can go to Devarim, that's Deuteronomy chapter 4. And let's start on verse 39.
And you shall know today and shall recall to your heart that Yahweh himself is Elohim in the heavens above and on the earth beneath. There is none else. And you shall guard his laws and his commands, which I command you today, so that it is well with you and with your children after you, and so that you prolong your days on the soil which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you for all time. Then Moshe separated 3 cities beyond the Jordan toward the rising of the sun, for him who kills someone to flee there. He who kills his neighbor unintentionally without having hated him in time past, and might flee to one of these cities and live. Better is in the wilderness, in the level land for the Reubenites, and Ramoth in Gilad for the Gadites, and Golan in Bashan for the Menashites. And this is the Torah which Moshe set before the children of Israel. These are the witnesses and the laws and the right rulings which Moshe spoke to the children of Israel after they came out of Mitzrayim, beyond the Jordan in the valley opposite Beit Peor, in the land of Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, who dwelt at Heshbon, whom Moshe and the children of Israel had smitten after they came out of Mitzrayim. And they took possession of his land and the land of Og, sovereign of Bashan, 2 sovereigns of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan toward the rising of the sun, from Aroer, which is on the bank of Wadi Arnon, even the mount to Mount Sion, which is Hermon, and all the desert plain beyond the Jordan, as far as the sea of the Arabah, below the slopes of Pisgah.
Okay, let's hear the end of chapter 4 in the Hebrew. Here we go.
From
אז
39.
משה 3 ערים בעבר הירדן, מזרחה שמש. לנוס שמה רוצח, אשר ירצח את רעהו בבלי דעת, והוא לא שונא לו מתמול שלשום. ונס אל אחת מן הערים האל, וחי. את בצר במדבר בארץ המישור לרובייני, ואת רמות בגלעד לגדי, ואת גולן בבשן למנשי. וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל. אלה העדות והחוקים והמשפטים אשר דיבר משה אל בני ישראל בצאתם ממצרים. בעבר הירדן בגיא מול בית פעור, בארץ סיחון מלך האמורי, אשר יושב בחשבון, אשר היכה משה ובני ישראל בצאתם ממצרים. וירשו את ארצו ואת ארץ עוג מלך הבשן, שני מלכי האמורי, אשר בעבר הירדן מזרח שמש. מערוער אשר על שפת נחל ארנון, ועד הר ציון וחרמון. וכל הערבה עבר הירדן מזרחה, ועד הים הערבה תחת אשדות הפסגה.
Okay, so we're going to go right into chapter 5. Here we go. Chapter 5. And Moshe called all Israel and said to them, Hear, O Israel, the laws and right rulings which I speak in your hearing today, and you shall learn them and guard to do them. Yahweh our Elohim made a covenant with us in Horeb. Yahweh did not make this covenant with our fathers, but with us, those who are here today, all of us who are alive. Yahweh spoke with you face to face on the mountain from the midst of the fire. I stood between Yahweh and you at that time to declare to you the word of Yahweh, for you were afraid because of the fire, and you did not go up to the mountain, saying, I am Yahweh your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, out of the house of bondage. You have no other mighty ones against my face. You do not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of which is in the heavens above, or which is in the earth beneath, or which is in the waters under the earth. You do not bow down to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh your Elohim, am a jealous El, visiting the crookedness of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing kindness to thousands to those who love me and guard my commands. You do not bring the name of Yahweh your Elohim to naught, for Yahweh does not leave him unpunished who brings his name to naught. Guard the Shabbat day to set it apart, as Yahweh your Elohim commanded you. 6 days you labor and shall do all your work, but the 7th day is the Shabbat of Yahweh your Elohim. You do not do any work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your ox, nor your donkey, or any of your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates, so that your male servant and your female servant rest as you do. Let's hear in the Hebrew, I read to verse 14.
פרק ה'. ויקרא משה אל כל ישראל, ויאמר עליהם, שמע ישראל את החוקים ואת המשפטים אשר אנוכי דובר באוזניכם היום, ולמדתם אותם ושמרתם לעשותם. אדוני אלוהינו כרת עמנו ברית בחורב. לא את אבותינו כרת אדוני את הברית הזאת, כי איתנו. אנחנו אלה פה היום כולנו חיים. פנים בפנים דיבר אדוני עמכם בהר, מתוך האש. אנוכי עומד בין אדוני וביניכם בעת ההיא, להגיד לכם את דבר אדוני, כי יראיתם מפני האש, ולא עליתם בהר, לאמור. אנוכי אדוני אלוהיך, אשר הוצאתיך מארץ מצרים, מבית עבדים. לא יהיה לך אלוהים אחרים על פניי. לא תעשה לך פסל כל תמונה אשר בשמיים ממעל, ואשר בארץ מתחת, ואשר במים מתחת לארץ. לא תשתחווה להם ולא תעבדם, כי אנוכי אדוני אלוהיך אל קנה, פוקד עוון אבות על בנים, ועל שילשים ועל ריבעים לשונאי, ועושה חסד לאלפים, לאוהבי ולשומרי מצוותי. לא תישא את שם אדוני אלוהיך לשווא, כי לא ינקה אדוני את אשר יישא את שמו לשווא. שמור את יום השבת לקדשו, כאשר ציווך אדוני אלוהיך. 6 ימים תעבוד, ועשית כל מלאכתך, ביום השביעי שבת לאדוני אלוהיך. לא תעשה כל מלאכה, אתה ובנך וביתך, ועבדך ואמתך, ושורך וחמורך, וכל בהמתך, וגרך אשר בשעריך, למען ינוח עבדך ואמתך כמוך.
Okay. We're going to continue with verse 15.
And you shall remember that you are a slave in the land you were, a slave in the land of Mitzrayim, and that Yahweh your Elohim brought you out from there by a strong hand and by an outstretched arm. Therefore Yahweh your Elohim commanded you to observe the Shabbat day. Respect your father and your mother, as Yahweh your Elohim has commanded you, so that your days are prolonged, and so that it is well with you on the soil which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you. You do not murder, you do not commit adultery, you do not steal, you do not bear false witness against your neighbor, you do not covet your neighbor's wife, nor do you desire your neighbor's house, his field, nor his male servant, nor his female servant, his ox, nor his donkey, or whatever belongs to your neighbor. These words Yahweh spoke to all your assembly in the mountain from the midst of the fire, of the cloud, and of the thick darkness with a loud voice. And he added no more. And he wrote them on 2 tablets of stone and gave them to me. And it came to be, when you heard the voice from the midst of the darkness, while the mountain was burning with fire, that you came near to me, all the heads of your tribes and your elders, and said, See, Yahweh our Elohim has shown us his esteem and his greatness, and we have heard his voice from the midst of the fire. Today we have seen that Elohim speaks with man, and he lives. That is so beautiful.
Can we hear the verse 24 in the Hebrew?
וזכרת כי עבד היית בארץ מצרים, ויוציאך אדוני אלוהיך משם, ביד חזקה ובזרוע נטויה. על כן ציווך אדוני אלוהיך לעשות את יום השבת. כבד את אביך ואת אמך, כאשר ציווך אדוני אלוהיך, למען יאריכון ימיך, ולמען ייטב לך על האדמה אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך. לא תרצח ולא תנאף ולא תגנוב ולא תענה ורעך עד שווא ולא תחמוד אשת רעך ולא תתאווה בית רעך, שדהו ועבדו ואמתו, שורו וחמורו, וכל אשר לרעך. את הדברים האלה דיבר אדוני אל כל קהלכם בהר, מתוך האש, הענן והערפל, קול גדול ולא יצף. ויכתבם על שני לוחות אבנים, ויתנם אלי. ויהי כשומעכם את הקול מתוך החושך, וההר בוער באש, ותקרבון אלי כל ראשי שבטיכם וזקניכם, ותאמרו, הן הראנו אדוני אלוהינו את כבודו ואת גודלו, ואת קולו שמענו מתוך האש, היום הזה ראינו, כי ידבר אלוהים את האדם, וחי.
Okay. Can we continue with verse 25? And now why should we die? For this great fire is consuming us. If we hear the voice of Yahweh Elohim any more, then we shall die. For who is there of all flesh who hath heard the voice of the living Elohim, speaking from the midst of the fire, as we have, and doth live? You go near and hear all that Yahweh our Elohim says, and speak to us all that Yahweh our Elohim says to you, and we shall hear and do it. And Yahweh heard the voice of your words when you spoke to me, and Yahweh said to me, I have heard the voice of the words of this people which they have spoken to you. They have done well in all that they have spoken. Oh, that they had such a heart in them to fear me and to guard all my commands always,
Amen.
so that it might be well with them and with their children forever.
Amen.
Go, say to them, return to your tent. But you stand here by me, and let me speak to you all the commands and the laws and the right rulings which you are to teach them. And they shall do them in the land which I am giving them to possess. And you shall guard to do it the way your Elohim hath commanded you. You do not turn aside to the right or to the left. Walk in all the way which Yahweh your Elohim hath commanded you, so that you live and it be well with you, and you shall prolong your days in the land which you shall possess. Possess. Let's hear to the end of the chapter in
What a
Hebrew.
beautiful thing.
ועתה למה נמות? כי תאכלנו האש הגדולה הזאת. אם יוספים אנחנו לשמוע את קול אדוני אלוהינו עוד ומתנו. כי מכל בשר אשר שמע קול אלוהים חיים מדבר מתוך האש כמונו ויחי. קרב אתה ושמע את כל אשר יאמר אדוני אלוהינו, ואת תדבר אלינו את כל אשר ידבר אדוני אלוהינו אליך, ושמענו ועשינו. וישמע אדוני את כל דבריכם בדברכם אלי, ויאמר אדוני אלי, שמעתי את כל דברי העם הזה אשר דיברו אליך, היטיבו כל אשר דיברו. וייתן והיה לבבם זה להם ליראה אותי ולשמור את כל מצוותיי כל הימים, למען ייטב להם ולבניהם לעולם. לך אמור להם, שובו לכם לאוהליכם, ואתה פה עמוד עמדי, ואדברה אליך את כל המצווה והחוקים והמשפטים אשר תלמדם, ועשו בארץ אשר אנוכי נותן להם לרשתה. ושמרתם לעשות כאשר ציווה אדוני אלוהיכם אתכם, לא תסורו ימין ושמאל, בכל הדרך אשר ציווה אדוני אלוהיכם אתכם תלכו, למען תחיון וטוב לכם, והארכתם ימים בארץ אשר תירשון.
Okay, so that's the end of the part for today. Wow, this is becoming one of my favorite Torah portions. I feel like, you know, in Moshe is kind of getting to the heart of the Torah. You know what I mean? Just in a few
Verses.
right? Kind of summarizing what's the point of everything, the heart of everything. You know, so I really like this one.
So precious.
So we started recovering from last time, reviewing, the verses 39 and 40, right? That Yahweh himself is Elohim in the heavens above and the earth beneath, there is none else, right? I mean, so, and then it was talking about cities of refuge for the people who had accidentally killed somebody. They had to be separated, kind of. So in a way, I think it's they caused their family to be separated from a loved one, right? So now they have to be separated, and it's kind of like an equal measure thing. But there was still that mercy that they were allowed to live.
Isn't that precious? It's how he thinks about everything, you know?
Yeah. And then chapter 5, in the beginning, we have again the word Shema, and we saw that on Monday as well. We saw that word Shema. Shema Israel, you know, listen.
Here.
Israel, be attentive.
Intelligently.
Listen.
Go
Yeah.
over it. Intelligently, often with implication of attention, obedience, causatively, to tell. So it's not just to hear, but to tell.
So listen to the right rulings, right? Be attentive to the right rulings that I put before you. And then I think it was interesting that they go into the part about verse 4. Yahweh spoke to you face to face on the mountain from the midst of the fire. But they were afraid because of the fire. And then they tell Moses, you speak to Yahweh, because they were afraid of the fire. And then they were also using this kind of, I think, as a way to recognize that Yahweh is not like the gods of the other nations that they have encountered, right? Like they've been exposed to other nations and to the way they worship their pagan gods and things like that, right? And they said, you know, they realized this is not the same, right? This is special and unique, because, you know, where else have you heard the voice of Yahweh and lived, right? Have you seen so? And spoke to them.
And also
directly.
On this chapter, chapter 5, once again, it's mentioned about the Shabbat, to keep Shabbat as Kadosh, separated, not to do any work. People come up with all kinds of excuses to work on Shabbat, but I'm sure, you know, when you trust Him, we had all gone through that, you know, and we had called unto Him and say, we don't want to work on Shabbat. Please make a way, help us. And He does help us. He sees the kavanah of the heart, the intention of the heart. And Baruch Atah, Yahweh is so beautiful to rest on His day and to dedicate to, you know, studying His word and just to be in His presence. To me, that has no greater reward than to be in His presence. And then also not to just to us, but not to make anyone else work, like the servant, either female or male servant, animals, everyone, your daughter, your son, you know, it's a ceasing of work completely. And also, as well as the one on verse 16, respect your father and your mother as Yahweh your Elohim has commanded you. So next to, not to work on Shabbat, which is so special for Yahweh, then respect your father and your mother. It's very, very special. Okay, you honor me, but you need to honor your father and your mother as well, right?
And well, kind of also the reason for that, right, is because your parents, in a way, represent the relationship, right, between you and the Almighty, right? If He's your heavenly Father, right? So there's that relationship. So like the way you treat them is a reflection of your relationship with Yahweh.
Amen. And not just that, it says that how can you say that you love Hashem, Yahweh, who you have not seen, when you disrespect or do not love, the people that you see with your own eyes? Mm-hmm. So in a way, Yeshua said something very, very special. He said, I was naked, you covered me. I was, thirsty, you gave me something to drink. I was in jail, you visited me. I was sick, you came and see me. And people ask in that parable, when did we see you thirsty or naked or in jail? When did we do that? Said, for as far as you did it to one of my little ones, you did it as unto me. So in a way, we reflect our love for Hashem, for Yeshua, for His word, for His kingdom, on the way we treat others.
Yeah, and also I think we were mentioning this the other day, it has to do also, I think, with gratitude, right? When you respect your father and your mother, you're showing a gratefulness, you're showing gratitude to the people who brought you into the world, and when you were little, nourished you, helped you, kept you alive, you know what I mean, took care of you. And so you should show them respect, if for no other reason, just because they gave you life, right?
And you know what? I know some people that they hate their parents because they did something to them. And in a way, unfortunately, when we are parents, nobody told us, if we were not scholared or we were not taught in the Word, in the Torah, how to raise our children. And we might have committed some mistakes. However, if you live in the past and you never forgive your mother, your father, you're not going to be happy in the present time because you are living in the past. So if you are one of these people that for you it is difficult to forgive your mom or your dad for whatever reason, just try to talk to the owner of your mother and father's hearts and your own, and tell him, I cannot get rid of this hatred or this burden that I am carrying. Please help me. And I'm sure He'll help you, because Abba wants you to live happily in this planet. He doesn't want you to be unhappy or in distress and in hatred, because that's consuming you. That is like venom inside your blood. So try to come before the Elohim Almighty and just pour your heart and tell Him how you feel, and just ask to not just forgive, but to be forgiven for that hatred that you are carrying in your heart.
Right. So he kind of repeats the 10 Commandments, if you notice that.
Yes.
Right. Do not murder, do not commit adultery. Yeah. And then again, he ends with the command, the mission to keep the command and to guard, especially when they come into the land. This is what they're going to do, right? And it'll prolong their days. It'll be a blessing.
Amen.
for them.
And once again, this same situation repeats when the 3,000 people that had come to the feast, and they heard when the Ruach HaKodesh came upon the disciples and poured the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, or the Ruach HaKodesh, pouring his Ruach upon the people who were gathered together, 120 initially, who were praying, who were calling on the name of Yahweh. And the Ruach HaKodesh came to them as a tongues of fire again, right? But this time, not like as a group, but individually on each person who was praying, and they were prophesying. And it was amazing to all the people who heard. And that day, 3,000 people came to the Elohim of Israel wholeheartedly. Mm-hmm. So once again, the manifestation of the fire, the outpouring of the Ruach HaKodesh. But this time, to me, it's very prophetic, because Abba said that he was going to come. Your sons were going to see visions, and you were going to prophesy, and all these things were manifesting then. And I believe it's coming again, because it's like a circle. It's going to come again. It's going to unify the body of believers all over the planet. And the racism, the prejudice, the hatred against the people of Israel, it's going to cease, because the Goyim are going to see that Yahweh is really with Israel in spite of everything, because we have not been faithful to him. We recognize that, and it's the inclination to do wrong things, that wrestle in our bodies, our minds. Mm-hmm. But the spirit of our mind, it's commanding us to come closer to Abba. Mm-hmm. And on that day, like he promised in Jeremiah chapter 31, he is going to circumcise our hearts. He's going to put not anymore on tablets of stone that precious word, but in our hearts, for us to become a temple to him, right? A mishkan to him. Build me a mishkan, and I will dwell in you. Not in the actual piece of stone, but in each one of us, in our hearts. Amen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we can say the blessing to close, and we'll continue, and stay tuned, because the next chapter is really great as well. So
all of them.
All of them, yeah.
Baruch atah Yahweh Elohe haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet b'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Yahweh noten haTorah. Amen. Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
Be the light of this world. Be the salt of this earth. Shalom.